What's up, y'all? We here. It's the Frequent Flyer with B Rob. All right. Episode numero uno. I put a couple reels, little snippets, just to kind of get the water warm. First of all, we got to talk about Dayton. Big road win against St. Louis, 71-63. And then follow that up with the big home win against Davidson, 69-63. Not the prettiest game, but dub is a dub, and we'll take it however we can get it at this point. Then big game coming up, VCU. Another big game for the Flyers. Need to pull this out at home. Keep this positive vibes. Keep this energy going. This will be a huge statement win. So looking forward to that. And not just the Flyers. The trade deadline is officially over. The whirlwind that's been the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 days is come to an end. We'll dive into that a little bit. Also, Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl 57 LP, yeah. In Arizona. Will you bet against Kansas City? I just, at this point, you're just throwing away money. My heart tells me Philly is going to win because they are a very complete team, uber talented team, no real weaknesses. But then you have the Chiefs who have Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, and Patrick Mahomes. Those three, I don't care how you feel about them, they do not lose. We'll just touch on that real briefly. And then also, finally, our guest is going to come on, my guy, my brother for about 20 years, Massachusetts stand-up, Springfield, Worcester Academy stand-up, Mr. Nick Stafford, y'all. So we're going to talk to him, get some takes, have a few laughs, get some jokes, a couple of stories. So let's get right into it. But before we get into that, I want to just touch on, I guess, the motivation behind why I just decided to jump in and try this out. It was really when I came up to go see the Marquette game, me and my family, we drove up. We didn't anticipate seeing 2 games, but we had so much fun. We enjoyed the atmosphere, the environment. We ended up staying for 2. My kids were not going to let me leave without us staying for that UNLV game. So they would have killed me. But just being up there and seeing that love and support still alive, I just came back wanting to do something else. I said, okay, what can I do? Podcast came across my mind, but it was like, man, there's a million of them. What can you do with that to make it, I guess, different and make it yours? There's a lot of podcasts out, some specific to certain things, certain universities or whatever. I was like, you know what? Let me try to do something so where we can shed a spotlight on UD. Bottom line is I just wanted to create a platform where I can connect with former players, people in the UD community, while at the same time telling my story and talking to people that have a really cool story that were along my journey too. I know it's the Frequent Flyer with B-Rob, but it's not about just me. We're going to frequent flyers from all over, anywhere across the country, around the world. See what I did there? And I'll grant some flyers for a day pass to my non-UD associates, friends, just so they can feel welcome, feel that flyer love. A little bit of current events, current sports. And I felt like, okay, let's roll with this. All right, let's get a mic, let's get a cam, let's do it. And that's where we're at. And so we're here, we're doing it. And I was a little motivated because I'm like, all right, man, it's time for you to get back outside. You've been kind of low key with the fam, with the babies. My babies are growing up a little bit. They're getting more independent. Me and my wife don't have to just straight run around all day trying to chase babies. We're at a little bit better place now as far as that. But Dayton. Again, like I said, 2 big wins this week. I'm looking for a third one to cap it off. VCU, man. Tough one at home. It's always a battle, dogfight, low scoring. I mean, these 2 teams just scrap when they get in the ring with each other. They just scrap. So looking forward to that. We battled our way out of the ashes, it seems like, from 2 weeks ago. And this will be a big time statement to say, hey, we're back. Everything's in front of them still. I know it seemed like all hope was lost or whatever, but everything's still there. The main thing is just the confidence. The confidence level is night and day between the wins and the losses that you're like, how? But yeah. Big time chance against VCU. Then we go into, let's dive back into this trade deadline. Finally over. Okay. All of the dust has settled. Just a lot of changes going around. And I think it might have been the commissioner, man. Adam Silver out here just trying to draw everybody back in. Come on back in. Viewership and numbers were down. Let's mix it up. I don't know. But yeah, so Super Bowl, right? I can't think of a scenario where Philly wins the game. I mean, to be honest, if the game is close, Chiefs are going to win. If the Chiefs have the ball last and it's close, they're going to win. They're going to find a way to score. If they play the game, they're going to win. Like, there's no scenario, and it's been proven this year, like, they will find a way to win. Doesn't matter. Okay. They get the most calls to go in their favor that I've ever seen out of any team ever. Every single game, multiple times a game, it's automatic. They're going to get that call, rigged or fixed or the Swifty effect, whatever you want to call that nonsense. You can't go against them. They will make history on Sunday. They'll make history. And until somebody proves me otherwise, they will win. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. And this isn't even that good of a team. Their defense has always been top tier. On the offensive side, they're not even the best version of the Chiefs that they've been at any point. This might be their worst offensive team. And they lost one game all year. They lost one. Again, the Phillies got everything. They're the more talented team from top to bottom. But again, the Chiefs have the three things that nobody else has. So looking forward to that. It's time to bring on my guy. Like I said, he was my roommate at UD for 3 years, man. We went from Mariners Hall, broke that in. That was a brand new dorm back in '04. Garden Apartments. Shout out that building, whoever's in there. 2A to be specific. Been rocking with him for a long time. Welcome to the first Frequent Flyer episode. Nick, man, what's going on, bro?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Can't complain, dog. You know, just got this thing rolling, man. I knew I had to have you on the first time. It only made sense. My guy from back when I was taking those first steps over there at 300 College Park. And
That's right.
Yeah, man, thank you for joining the show. So I'm going to just get right into it, man. We actually ran into each other or was in the same presence, I guess, way before, we stepped foot on UD's campus. 5-star camp. You were there, same time I was there. I remember they was hyping this week up, like one of the most talented weeks. It was a ton of people over there. It was, who was it? Like Lenny Cook, Lenny Cook, y'all know that name. Back then, it was, who else was there? Like Ray Felton.
Jared Jack was there.
Jared Jack, yep. Curtis Sumner. I mean, these are old school names, like, but back then it was, he still can't hoop. And so, and even I was a year younger than y'all, right? So even down in my age, the rising sophomores or whatever it was, I was even stacked. I mean, I think it was like DeMarcus Nelson was there on my team. On my team, it was me and Drew Neitzel. My guy from Michigan State. Yeah, he was cold. Shout out to Drew, man. To be nice, man. Hey, he was cold, man. And we kept in touch a little bit afterwards. Obviously, he did his thing up in Michigan State, but man, it was just a loaded week from like top to bottom. And so I know you were there, man. How did you experience 5-star? Because you did your thing, like, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. No, tell me. Who was this guy right here? Talk to me about this guy at 5-star. Shout out Worcester Academy. Tell me about this guy at 5-star camp. Did he go to work or not? You tell me.
Listen, man. I mean, at that time, I did get most promising prospect amongst all of that talent for rising.
Hey, no. Hey, listen. Say it louder so the people. What they say? The people in the back say that louder. What you do? What were you again?
I got the most promising rising prospect, of that camp. So meaning, amongst all of those underclassmen, because not the guys like Raymond Felton, they were rising seniors, but, rising prospects. I won that award amongst that talent pool that was there. So obviously I was, doing something right there, that camp. I mean,
obviously he was doing
yeah. And I mean, that camp had Kalina Azubuike, Brad Buckman, that went to Texas. Kennedy Winston, who was at Alabama or Arkansas. Of course, Lenny Cook.
He was the headliner. He was definitely the headliner of the camp. I mean, back then, bro, you hear that name Lenny Cook, and it was like, ooh.
Was Drew Ladd there?
Nah, I don't think he was.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if he was there, but I
Well,
mean,
you
from
got
top
that.
to bottom.
Yeah. And, you got that award. And I remember I went to 5 Star a couple of times. I remember once, I don't know if it was that week, but I remember I got Mr. Station 13 one time.
Oh, you got that one?
Everybody, everybody who been to 5 Star knows what that Station 13 is, right? You go out there, you get some extra work in,
Yeah.
walking up the hill, and in that
Yeah.
heat, you know, get
And
some
Robert
extra work.
Morris?
You rest, you go back, get a little extra work in. So
Yeah.
I remember one time, yeah, I got the Mr. Station 13. So that's my award that I got from Garth and them, man. Shout out Garth, man. I know
Yes.
you rest up, man.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
no, man, that's big time, man. Because like I said, that was a major thing, bro. Major.
I didn't see that
So
coming. I didn't see it coming. I'll be honest, because there was so much talent there, like a lot, you know. Um, that was one time. Next show, I'll get it. I will get it. I got the award. I'll
you got the award
show,
still?
of course.
I don't know. Of course you do. Yeah, absolutely you do.
Well,
Yeah.
my
I don't know
mom's
about
kept it.
my Mr. Station 13, but I would have definitely kept that one, the most promising
Mom,
prospect one.
yeah, mom kept it. Mom kept it. She kept that award.
Shout out
That
moms,
was
man.
that was special. But yeah, it was fun.
Nah,
It
that's
was
dope.
fun.
That's dope. Hey,
Enjoyed that.
so yeah, you go from, Worcester Academy, right? You
Hmm.
know, elite kind of prospect coming out and everything. What
Hmm.
made you come on over to Dayton? I mean, obviously you coming from the East Coast and everything. Like
Yeah.
what drew you to UD?
Um, the visit, man. Like going on UD's campus. I mean, everybody wants to go to, North Carolina and all of that stuff, like the big schools, right? Like, of course you do, and you strive to get there. But, you know, I think at the time I was striving to get there, but it was the stadium, the fans, the people, the culture, the history, like that really sold me. And I'm big on history, you know, and going to that arena and just hearing you're gonna get 14,000 plus fans every night, and no matter if you win or lose, that was just attractive to me. Like, oh man, that's cool. And academically, and on top of that, being able to play in front of my family, a couple of times a year, I couldn't beat that. So that was a key. And maybe my mom didn't want me on the East Coast. She wanted me to go somewhere where,
200 off the East Coast, man.
yeah,
Hey, that's the thing. Like East Coast people, like you said this before. I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. People really don't like. I wouldn't say don't like, but I'm gonna just say it. People really don't like the Midwest like that. I know you said that, and I've never taken offense to it up until this
yeah,
point. Like you, like, man, I can't.
yeah,
I'm never going to Ohio. Like, I think about Ohio. I've heard this. They said Ohio is a great place to be from, and that's true,
yeah,
man. Like
yeah,
you get your sense of morality a little bit. You get your normalcy. You're not
yeah,
like, East Coast got its own thing, as far as
yeah,
mindset. West Coast, that's a whole different thing. Like I feel like the West Coast is a whole different country. Like I don't even, it's once you cross the Rockies, it's just
yeah, it's
like
different.
La La Land. I feel like a foreigner if I go over
Yeah,
there. Like, man, I need to get back to. Shout out to the West Coast, man. I don't have no ill will to it, but it's just not for me. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's just not for me. But
yeah,
yeah, no. Another thing wasn't Mo? Wasn't he your guy from the East Coast too?
yeah.
Did he have influence on you, Mo Cassera, right? Or not
Yeah,
really?
he did. Yeah, he did. I think at the time Mo was my head coach in high school, and you know, I was getting recruited by everybody, including Dayton, and I didn't know much about Dayton at all, and so all the reasons that I had said, the visiting and all of that stuff prior to me committing to Dayton, he had shared what I said. You like history, you like culture, you like tradition, all those things, they have that, and you'll appreciate it. And oh, by the way, I'll be out there. So I don't want to say it was a package deal, sort
Yeah.
of like, I'm going to come here and, you'll come with me. But it looked that way. It looked that way. Oh, obviously the choice was my decision, but he did have an influence on me, making that, decision.
Right, right. I got you. Yeah, I just popped in. I'm like, I do remember, Mo being from over there and having a relationship with you prior to. So, but so yeah, so we get to dating, right? We break in Meredith's Hall, brand new dorm, right?
Yeah,
We get in
yeah.
there, then we go ahead and transition over to garden apartments,
Fun times, fun
364
times.
2A. A lot of
Yeah,
good time.
yeah.
And we can't cover everything in one episode, but
No, no,
you
no.
know, we definitely this man. So I thought I was semi, neat and kind of, orderly a little bit. And I knew I wasn't the best, but I was like, hey, I'm not a slob, coming
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Man, listen, when I met this guy here, he had his stuff laid out
Hey,
perfectly. I'm talking about
man.
it was folded up. It was set. I'm like, man, is this a military school? Is this Dayton Military Institute? Like, what is
Ah,
this? I wasn't used to this. I see there's levels to being orderly. And I just was like, man, this guy's legit here with the structure, man. But
yeah.
where is that something that you just always were? Like you get that from moms and pops or what?
Here's the story. So I wasn't always like that. I mean, neat to a T. Like your mom tells you to clean up and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
But I remember when I first got my own room, and my mom came in there. I was probably like 10 or 11, and it was dirty, stuff. And my mom came in and she cleaned it. She was cleaning it and, cleaning it. You don't keep your room clean. And she's saying all of this stuff. And what stuck with me was she said, if you don't want me in here, then keep your room clean. That's what she
okay.
said. If you don't want me in your room, then keep it clean and I won't have a reason to come in your room because it's clean, you know? So from that point on, when she said that, I just was like, all right, I don't want her to ever come in here. So I just kept it clean. So anytime she would walk by, she'd look, it's clean. I don't got to go in there.
Hey, that's
So that's why, and that just stuck. And it just, obviously, you know, habits become pattern, and then a pattern becomes, daily routine, and then it's discipline after that.
yeah, nah, it was definitely some discipline, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not. I got some work to do. I got some work to do to keep up with him, boy, because yeah, stuff was laid out nice, man. But yeah, so going from like I said, from Marinus, having some time over there, getting the garden apartments, then after
Ball.
year 3 for you, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You went ahead and was like, you know what? It's time for me to go ahead, bounce on out of here, man. You had it one
Uh-huh.
more year, and I
Uh-huh.
definitely tried, man. I tried to get. Hey, I'm like, listen, bro. Like, I just got one more, man. Let's just get through 12 more months, please, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
don't do this, man. We done been through too much. We done
yeah,
walked this campus, just
yeah,
me and you, and just yeah, just let's figure it out, man. But you went ahead, you had to do what you had to do, right?
yeah.
And you don't have to go into detail as far as that, but what prompted you to like say, all right, I'm gonna just go back home. I'm gonna start working on, my
Uh-huh.
career, working on
Uh-huh.
life after basketball. Like touch
Yeah,
on that a little bit, that mindset.
yeah. I mean, at the time, things weren't going the way that I had foreseen. I think a lot of athletes, when they get in that situation, especially, at the highest level before the NBA and all that other stuff, you find out that it is a business to it. Unfortunately, it is a business. So during that time, I was just like, man, I got to figure it out. Um, the game wasn't. I wasn't happy with the game, and when you're not happy with the game, bring you joy, that's a problem. anyway, I mean, there was a couple other things going on. The fact that I, like you said, decided to move on. And, the thing is when you, as an athlete, you climb in the ladder, you rise, and, from bitty ball to, maybe middle school ball to AAU, to high school team, college, whatever. There's always that pursuit. But when you're done with college, it's like, okay, where do I go next? And you're trying to figure it out, whether it's trying to go play overseas. There's only a few positions over there, and it's a waiting game. You've experienced that before, trying to find the right team and everything like that. So anyway, I'm going to shout out a friend of mine, close friend of mine that I went to Worcester Academy with while I was, working out and everything like that. He said something to me that was so profound and prolific, and hearing it from, if you heard it from somebody older, you'd be like, you don't know nothing, old man. But when you hear it from your peer and you hear it from a brother that you call a brother and a friend, means something. So I'm gonna give him a shout out. My boy Stevie Haley, he played at Boston College. We went to Worcester Academy together.
Yeah.
I was talking to him like, yeah, bro, I want to do this and everything like that. And he said, yeah, that's all fine and dandy. That's good. But just remember one thing. And I was like, what? He said, you're nothing more than a number. And I was like, I took a back seat, man, what do you mean? And he was like, all you are is a number to them right now. You may be number one, or you may be number 349, but you're a number. And I didn't like that, how that was received. Mm-hmm. And so at that point in time, I was just like, all right, I got to figure out how I am not a number anymore. And that sent me on a quest of, like, you try to find yourself within. So you start trying different things in life. But, that's where I was at that space, from that, after hearing that. Yeah. And it totally changed my mindset.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I tried to keep you, man. I know you had your conversation with BG at the time, and, he kind of laid some things out, and you laid some things out. Y'all had a grown man situation going on, and you figured it out, and it was what it was. And I said, like I told you back then, I'm like, well, I mean, sure, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. It is what it is, man. But from that, you transition. Like, let's talk about a little bit some of the things that you did after UD, right? Some of the things you got into. You moved around. You were from here. Yeah. Somewhere I know you was outside Cincinnati in Kentucky. There was one thing, though, that brought you kind of back to the game after, separating from it for a little bit of time. Touch on that a little bit, what you got into.
Yeah, so it was, I think I got an itch. Ball is in my blood. I love basketball. But I got an itch to get back in the game. And so I was working for the Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm a Springfield boy. Yeah. Springfield is the birthplace of basketball. That's where the Hall of Fame is located. So I got an opportunity to work at the Basketball Hall of Fame. Wasn't as long as I would hope, but it was impactful, for the time period that I wanted to be in. I do fundraising right now. I enjoy it. I wanted to get back to a place that, I enjoy. But during that time period of being at the Basketball Hall of Fame, it was great to, interact. I call them superheroes because these were the guys that I looked up to, the MJs, the Magics, the Birds, Shaqs, the KGs, those type of people of the world. And and even people before then, the Alvin Hayeses of the world, the Elgin Baylors,
the old school OGs, right?
The Spencer Haywoods and those legends, you know what I mean? So just be around that. And so it was fun. It was a good time to interact with those people and hear the game from them. And you find a lot of, even though they made it at the highest level, you find some similarity somewhere in the conversation and the stories that they shared. And so it was cool to be around. Be around that. So I was there.
You cross paths with a bunch of different people. I mean, from the Tubby Smiths to the Jay Billises to Roy Williams, all of these titans of, the game of basketball. And you was able to go to Hall of Fame ceremonies too, right? And
yeah,
being into that circle, like that
yeah,
had to be
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It was, man, just to see these guys walking through. What the cool thing for me is some people are starstruck. For me, you understand their path, and so you're going to them and having a conversation, um, not as a fan, but an admirer and appreciation of the path that they created, so that you see you guys are the Jason Tatum's and these other guys that we see now. These are the people that laid the foundation for them to be who they are.
Right. Right.
So it's cool to see that.
And it helps you 6'7", so you're not, what I'm saying, they looking at you like, oh yeah, you definitely a hooper. Like, so
Yeah,
that's already just icebreaker right there to come in,
easy,
6'7" and you
easy
know
money.
athletic
Yeah,
like that. So that helped.
yeah,
But man, I remember you called me one time just out of the blue, and you FaceTime me, like we talking FaceTime, but this was like at a random, like in the morning or something crazy. I'm like,
yeah,
what's he FaceTime me for? Like, hey,
yeah,
what's up, B? I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, you all right? He's like,
yeah,
hey, look who I'm with, man. And he told me the phone. I'm like, Jim. I'm like, yo, that's Jim Jackson. What's up, bro? I'm like,
yeah,
that's the GOAT, Toledo's GOAT. Shout out, man,
yeah,
419. Jim
yeah,
Jackson, man, doing his thing all over the place. Um,
yep.
yeah, he was able to, like, you were at a golf outing or something with him, or what was that about?
Yeah, we were at Jerry Colangelo has a golf outing in Phoenix that he does every year. It's probably year 10 or 15 or something like that. He's been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
And we always reach back and get Hall of Famers and guys of the game. And so we have reached out to Jimmy and asked him to come. So of course Jimmy obliged. I mean, a lot of people do favors for Jerry Colangelo. You know who Jerry Colangelo
right,
is in the
right.
basketball world. He's a unicorn. And so he was there, and I knew he was there, and I knew that I was going to be you know working with Jimmy from a logistics standpoint. And so, we got to chopping it up a little bit. And I said, Jimmy, I said, I know you know a family very well that's near and dear to me. And he was like, who? And I said, your older brother, Nolan. You know, yeah, how you know him? Me and B Rob, that's my dog. It's my brother. That's my, da da da. And he was like, yeah. I said, hold on, let me call him. Let me see what's up. And so I called and I said, Jimmy, he's not gonna believe this. And he's like, oh yeah, let's do it. And that's when you had a chance to chop it up with Jimmy. And I think for me, it was like a great way to build community, build a connection right back. So
Right,
he
right,
was he was
right,
happy about
right.
that.
No, that was wild, man. That's like one of the last people that I thought I'd see, like with you FaceTiming. I'm like,
Yeah,
Jim, hey Jim, yeah, he's a golfer though. He golf all the time.
yeah,
He got time to do it,
yeah.
um,
Jim
but
special.
nah, that's pretty cool, man. I know that experience
Yeah,
had to be, you know, legit, just because, like you said, it just brought you back to the game a little bit.
yeah,
Haven't been
yeah,
away from it, so for a little bit of
yeah,
time, I know
yeah,
that was a cool experience. So now you back in Mass with
yeah,
the fam, and
yeah,
like you said, fundraising and doing all
yeah.
that. So,
Hmm.
Flyers, whoever you went to the UMass game, right? So I know there's some
Yeah,
Flyers in that area too. If they're
yeah,
y'all, I don't know, want to connect, he's up there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
for sure.
absolutely.
Well, listen, man, we could talk for a long time. Like, this is not gonna be the only time you're gonna be on here, so we don't need to dive into everything right now. What's your quick take on just the trade deadline and like stuff doesn't it just seem crazy? It's never been like this, right? Like I can't remember a time it was like this.
Oh, I mean, of course, Luka's a big one. I mean, Jimmy Butler going to, Golden State. That's huge. I mean, even some of the smaller ones, but impactful ones. I mean, Brandon Ingram going to Toronto. I mean,
Yeah, I got lost in the shuffle a little bit.
that
See,
got lost in the
that's smart.
shuffle.
Like I like that one just because you're getting away from the West. Like
Yeah,
the West
yeah,
is crazy. Like I touched on that a little bit. The West is out of control, man. I don't know.
yeah.
All the star power, big name, super teams, if you want to call them, seem to be in the West. Yeah, the East got, their own thing. The Knicks
Hmm.
still good, and Cleveland. But man,
Celtics,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
One other one that I'm surprised by the Lakers is they traded their rookie,
Yeah, down here in Charlotte, man,
Yeah,
they made some moves. That's like, okay, all right. They got Nurkic, they got
yeah,
Connect, they got Cam
yeah,
Reddish, got a couple picks.
yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Connecticut put that ball in the basket, so it's going to
Yeah,
be
you pair him
interesting to
up
see.
with LaMelo. You still got you kept Miles
Yeah,
Bridges.
yeah,
It's a solid little core, man. We'll see how they can keep it together. But
right.
yeah, no, I was impressed with what they did kind of under the radar.
Yeah, that was impressive. I like that. I mean, of course, Luka was the big splash, but there were some other ones where some teams really got some good players and some key
Jackson San
players to
Antonio,
help them.
they're gonna be all right. De'Aaron,
Yeah,
gonna be. I
yeah,
think Dallas, man. Dallas gonna be all right.
Cleveland with DeAndre from
Oh yeah, they got DeAndre Hunter.
Atlanta.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. That's a nice starting five right there.
Yeah, that's definitely, man. This is just a lot, man. So it was just a lot to cover. You know, to have this frequent flyer kind of unfold at this moment, it was like, man, there's so much stuff to talk about. You know, with the headlines, with obviously the Super Bowl coming up too. Who you got in the Super Bowl, man?
You know, my teams aren't in it, but I would love to see Philly win.
You
I'd
you
love to
still
see Barkley.
you still Patriots, man?
Yeah, come on, man. Like this home. That's the home team, baby.
Listen, man. I mean that should fail, dog. It's a whole different. That might as well move at this point, man. It's a, I don't even recognize the Patriots anymore like that, man.
Listen. Let me explain for the audiences. Everybody needs to listen. The Patriots weren't a good team, right, for a long time. Then we went on an unbelievable run. The history is already that we got. I don't need to go into detail. So we're going back to normal. But I'm going to enjoy those 20 years that we are. I'm good. I'm happy.
No, I mean that was a hell of a run. I mean, you can't deny that. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I just think the Chiefs, man, there's no stopping them. I mean, when you got the three-headed, monster with Reed and Spagnuolo and Mahomes, it's like they can't be beat.
Kelsey.
They've proven it, man. I mean, it is what it is. My heart says Philly just because they are super, super talented. Like they got the best top to bottom team, I think, in football,
Yep.
especially
Yep.
playing well right now. And it's just like, man, I just, you can't beat them. Like it doesn't matter. They'll find a way.
It's going to be an interesting game. It really is. I mean, it's going to be interesting how the defense adjusts to Saquon Barkley. I think that's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting
Yeah.
matchup for sure.
Yeah. I mean, because, Chiefs, that Chris Jones and that defense, man, they make plays, but Philly's offensive line, Saquon, the wideouts, I mean,
Yeah.
they really don't have any weaknesses, man, Philly. So
No, they don't.
It's like, well, if they do, the Reed and that defensive coordinator will find it. If they have any crack in that armor at all, those two will find it. So that's why I said you can't really bet against them like that, man. Ever. I think they're gonna make history.
Well, but I also think, don't forget, Philly has something to prove because Kansas City did take him out a couple years ago. And so.
And Philly actually had them, they had them beat, or they had the game under control until that fumble.
Yeah.
Rivers fumbled that ball. It was just like, that shifted the whole tide. You cannot give Kansas City 1 ounce of anything, or they will expose it, man. Especially in these big games like this, they will find a way. So if they can play close to mistake-free, solid football, I mean, they got a chance. I'm gonna just say they have a chance. I'm not gonna say they gonna win, but they have a chance.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm excited. I got no skin in the game. I just want to see a good game, and I know they're gonna deliver.
Same. Yeah. Same for sure. And before we get out of here, man, VCU Dayton, big time game. Listen, need it. We got 2 good wins in a row. Trying to keep this positive energy, this vibes going, because this month of February is going to be kind of tough, right? We're coming out of, like I said, coming out of this abyss where we had a stretch where you saw them in UMass not look like they needed to look. Then they got G-Dub before that. They just got smashed. And then coming back home. George Mason looks like they legit. I mean, they like 9-1 and 8. So I mean, they're hooping. At least that was it's still a bad loss at home, but I mean, they're better than advertised at this point. They're proof. But I mean, VCU, this is always a dogfight, tough game. So I mean, we need it. We need it.
Yeah, I think, Dayton, they got to come out with some toughness and some punching and just go after them, because VCU is going to be ready. They've shown that in past games, past
every game they play, every game,
and so we got to be ready. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be televised on tomorrow. And I hope all the guys are ready to rock and roll. You know what it reminds me of, and I'll never lose to that magnitude, but it reminds me of, when Dayton used to play Xavier, that sort of energy where you knew, Xavier was going to give you a good game, and it's like that. VCU is going to give us a good game.
Yeah, that's a mini version of that, just because I felt like Dayton and Xavier we were always trying to battling for that top, tier spot in the A-10. I mean, obviously they had always had a ton of talent. I mean, there's no denying what they had, but this version of, kind of that mini version of that is Dayton VCU for sure. Because these teams are always, for the most part, the most talented in the A-10, and just fighting for that supremacy at the top. Who's the lead dog in the conference. So, man, it's going to be a fight. Just play with confidence. Play fearless, play with confidence. That's the main thing that I've seen from the losses to the wins. Is just, man, play with that fearless confidence, and they'll always be right in it or win the game. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Go UD, let's go.
But I'm not gonna hold you up anymore, man. This was definitely a treat to set it off like this. Had to have you on as the first one, and like I said, you'll be on here plenty. Don't worry, we're gonna come back. We're gonna spin the block. And come on back your way and check in with you, because we got a lot more stories to talk about. We got a lot more music. Listen, man, this dude is the music connoisseur. Music. That's the other thing back at the apartments, y'all. Any new music that was out or not even out yet that was going to be hot, he was playing it on the speaker, on the computer, whatever. And still to this day, I promise you, if you look at our text, it's going to be all basically music links coming from his side of the chat. It's going to be like music. Yes, stuff you've never heard of, the not popular stuff. It's like, bro, where are you finding this stuff? Like, I don't know who this artist is. This artist got like 4 or 5 followers, or they put out like a couple songs, and like, exactly which ones is hot. I'm like, bro, you got somebody working for A&R somewhere, some music underground person, because you be like on it, man.
Man, music is a medicine for the soul, baby. So you gotta.
Nah, I mean, I
have it, man.
With all of it, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I've never heard of this. That's the type of music I like too, though. Like, I like the non-popular, like not the radio stuff. Like, I don't, that stuff is weak to me. I like the real, genuine, like, people that's making music and are talented and get stuff done. So, but nah, man,
I appreciate that.
The weekend right now, like, I gotta play that again, bro. That was nuts.
Yeah, Weekend got a good production on it. I mean, that album is solid. It's solid.
Yeah, nah, but yeah, we gonna get into it, man. But nah, again, appreciate you, bro. But next time, all right, we gonna have my guy from UD. Okay, I call him the busiest man east of the Miami River. This guy wears so many hats, has so many roles, so connected within the UD community, and looking forward to getting with him. I'm gonna probably have Nick on with him as well, just so we gonna keep this thing rolling and just talk to him, get some insights from him. Was one of the first people I reached out to about the podcast. Wanted to get his feedback. I've been close with for a long time. Him and his two brothers talk about the business side with Dayton, talk about Dayton Sixth, just kind of get his takes on the whole UD program and where it's at. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, getting that out to you guys. But again, it's the Frequent Flyer with B-Rob. And this was numero uno, and we just getting started. So appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe. I never thought I'd be saying this. I watch my kids watch YouTube videos all the time, and it's I always say, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, this and that. But now I get to say it. Now I'm asking y'all to take a look at it, hit it, do whatever y'all do with it, man. But I appreciate y'all's support, and see y'all next time. Peace.